Have you ever experienced a sense of fear or anxiety, but you can't quite pinpoint why? It's like there's this deep underlying sense of dread and unease if something bad is going to happen to you. But you don't know why. Sounds familiar? Well, you might be someone who needs Aspen. In today's video, we are diving into the world of Aspen, a Bach Flower remedy for those who feel uneasy, restless, or fearful, even when there is no obvious reason. I'll break down exactly what Aspen is, who is it for, and how it can help you feel more at ease. Let's say there would be a classic Aspen person. What would that person look like? Such a person would be constantly feeling uneasy or fearful, but unable to articulate the source of fear. This person might be experiencing vague, generalized anxiety that can't really be traced back to any specific event or situation. This person might be experiencing fear of the unknown or a constant sense of impending doom. And the person might feel restless, on edge, or uncomfortable even in situations where others feel calm. If you find yourself feeling a sense of dread without a clear reason, or you're afraid something bad is about to happen, but you can't say what or why, that is exactly what Aspen addresses. The Aspen person is typically someone who can't explain the anxiety. They feel this subtle sense of fear, but it's not really linked to anything specific. It's just there. They also feel restless, so you might experience this restlessness, for instance, at night when you're trying to sleep, or, in quiet moments where you're supposed to feel relaxed. There's a constant buzzing of unease in the back of your mind, even when you're trying to calm your mind. So it's hard to sit still, and you might actually avoid relaxing because it gives your thoughts too much room and time to roam around and dwell on what might happen. This inner turmoil can feel suffocating, like something is just around the corner. These people also tend to avoid risks. Since they don't know what exactly they are afraid of, they tend to avoid uncertainty or anything a little bit too adventurous or out of control. They prefer to stay in their comfort zones, but even that doesn't completely quiet their fear. You know that feeling when everything seems to be fine, but hello? You know that feeling when everything seems to be fine, but something in your gut just tells you something's wrong. That is the Aspen experience. You're not necessarily afraid of anything specific. It's more an overall. You're not necessarily afraid of anything specific, it's more of an overall sense of worry or foreboding. You could, of course, also just buy a cat. Now, with Aspen, you're not afraid of something specific, like spiders or flying. You're simply afraid that something might go wrong and there's no obvious cause. Aspen fears can often be subtle, but they still have a big impact on your life. It's like living in a constant uncertainty. I want to give an example from when I was younger and how Aspen translated in my life. So I say it was subtle, and generally it is, but it can be really soul-crushing. And in that way, well, it's not very subtle. It's just, in general, not as acute or strong as a panic state, like what you would experience if you need rock rose. Now, I grew up with a lot of difficulties, chaos, and sadness, and that led to me being very anxious, nihilist, and also just expecting bad things to happen. So I always had to be, on guard in my childhood at home and also at school. And I felt like the world wasn't a very safe place for me. In fact, I felt like the world wasn't very safe at all. Now, later in life, I had times and months ongoing that I would wake up and immediately when I woke, I would feel like something terrible was about to happen. Like a war, or maybe I would have a terrible accident, or something bad would happen to a loved one. Something so bad that it would be irreversible. So imagine how that feels. Now, in a way, I felt doomed. I can almost describe it as a mix between depression and anxiety. Now, that is how it translated for me personally. But it can have many shapes. So like I said, I woke up and I felt like that. But there wasn't a real reason, and I couldn't say anything specific of what could be going wrong. I wasn't expecting anything specific to go wrong, just that something would go wrong. If I could be worried of something I could pinpoint or mention, for instance, Let's imagine someone I love needs to make a very far journey and I'm worried that that person would have an accident. I could take red chestnut for worrying for others' well-being, or maybe mimulus for known specific fears. But here, I had no idea what would or could happen, or why. I had nothing specific in mind. I just felt something would happen. Now, as I said, there was no clear reason for that, but of course, on a bigger plane, if you zoom out, there was. Now, I only understood that afterwards because, well, my life was very unstable and insecure and chaotic, and everything was going bad at all times. So later in life, I developed this feeling of expecting bad things to happen, and that makes total sense. So I imagine this is what caused me to feel this way. But we don't need to figure out any reason for you in order to take it. This is just from my own journey. Now, another thing that I would like to mention is that sometimes people have a lot of things going on in their unconscious mind. And often they're not aware of that. And this is also translated into vague fears. So here too, Aspen will help. I also found Aspen helpful when people, often being unaware, are picking up on the energy of others. Therefore, they mix their own feelings with others, and then they can't discern anymore what's theirs or what's from other people. These people can be very sensitive to moods or energetic changes. And this can happen, for instance, when people had narcissistic abuse in their households, and they had to learn to read very subtle signs and energy to deal with this unsafe and unpredictable household. So they've become very skilled at that, and they are extremely sensitive to moods and energies, but don't realize this. But here I'm already going a bit deeper. So what is the most important thing here is this. If you feel anxious without any clear reason, or you can't explain why, Aspen is a great remedy for you. How Aspen helps? Aspen reduces fear and anxiety, and it helps soothe those vague, anxious feelings by offering emotional support for the things you can't explain. It helps calm that uneasy feeling in your chest, making you feel less worried about the unknown. It also encourages peace of mind. So Aspen helps you feel more at ease with uncertainty, offering a calm reassurance that you can handle whatever life throws at you. Even if you don't know exactly what it is, you feel you can trust in life. It's okay. You realize you thinking something will happen does not mean things will happen. More often, nothing will happen. And so you'll learn from these experiences. Or maybe better said, you'll unlearn the bad habit of expecting bad news. You'll accept that nothing bad is happening and you can relax. It also provides emotional clarity. So it provides the emotional space to handle your worries in a grounded and calm way. I want to talk a little bit more about a real life shift that I saw in my practice. Tom was a 26-year-old man who was always putting things off because... Oh, Snoepske. I want to talk about a real life shift that I saw in my practice. Tom was a 26-year-old man who was always putting things off because of that nagging feeling that something might go wrong. The Aspen feeling became so strong with him that he just became paralyzed. After taking Aspen, Tom felt more present and at ease. His vague fear disappeared and he started feeling more trust in the world and takes things as they come. He feels he simply enjoys life more and doesn't feel so suspicious and heavy. Because of that, he feels he can go out in the world and move forward without always expecting something to go wrong. He says in his own words that he feels more free. The transformation of Aspen. So with Aspen, you start to experience a transformation from constant unease to feeling more confident in life. And over time, the feelings of dread become less overwhelming or less prevalent. And you'll gradually feel more secure and less fearful about the unknown. Aspen is about gaining peace of mind when you're walking through fog. You don't always see the clear path ahead, but you trust that you'll find your way. How to use Aspen. So if you have a single stock bottle, you will dissolve 2 drops in a glass of water and drink throughout the day until you feel better. So repeat this for a minimum of 3 weeks or until you're better. When you make a remedy bottle, you take 4 drops 4 times per day. This can be in water or under your tongue or however feels comfortable for you. How to make a remedy bottle? Check out my video in the link below. Aspen pairs well with mimulus, which is the remedy for very specific fears when you know what you're scared of, or with white chestnut for racing thoughts and overthinking. It also pairs well with red chestnut when you are over worrying for the well-being of others. Now, what can you expect from Aspen? Aspen's effects are subtle. One day you'll just notice that you've not really felt that fake fear anymore and you've just forgotten about it. And instead of avoiding unknown situations, you'll just be able to approach them with a sense of calm and understanding, knowing that whatever happens, you have the strength to face it. You'll feel less like the world is coming down on you and that you can trust life. Just to mention, I'm not a doctor, so if you need diagnosis or medical treatment, please see your medical professional, as Bach Flower Remedies are not a substitute for medical treatment. However, you can safely use them complementary. The key takeaway, so the key benefit of Aspen is that it helps you to stop being afraid of what is unknown. It's a journey from constant worry to peace of mind. It's in a way also becoming okay with uncertainty, which in turn gives you the confidence to face the future. Quick recap. So Aspen is for those who experience vague, unexplained anxiety or fear without clear reason. And over time, it helps you feel grounded and less afraid of life's uncertainties. We're at the end of this video. Let me know if any of this resonates with you. Drop a yes in the comments if Aspen sounds like it could help. If you are struggling with fear, anxiety, or stress, check out my online course, Bloom into Balance, which is specifically designed for transforming yourself from anxious or stressed into calm and peaceful with Bach Flower Remedies. No prior knowledge is needed and you'll be able to find emotional freedom and peace in a simple, natural and safe way. See my link under this video. I hope this video helped. See you in the next one.